From the week of July 14, a new war is being fought on Capitol Hill, and while the news will be focused on bills and regulations, the real story is the one they won't tell you. The battle for crypto's future has escalated, and the players aren't just blockchain developers. They're Wall Street, major banks, big tech, and the US government itself. I'll show you the three real battlefronts of the ongoing epic crypto war in this special three-part series, and how you can prepare your sovereign stash for what comes next. Hello and welcome, I'm Anna, ex-product manager turned full-time crypto investor and creator of the Sovereign Stash strategy. I'm creating my own financial freedom using self-sovereign strategies, and I'm sharing what I learn along the way on this channel, Sovereign Stash. I'm going to break down the three key battlefronts that this new wave of US government crypto regulation is kicking off. And if you stick around, I'll share my personal playbook for how I'm positioning myself. If you're ready to look beyond the headlines and understand what's really going on in crypto, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons below. It makes a huge difference for a small channel like mine getting picked up by the YouTube algorithm, so thanks. Today we'll cover the first battle, the fight over the digital dollar. But just quickly before I go on, if you want a place to begin your crypto journey, I have a free 5-day Crypto Survival 101 email course you can sign up to. It's aimed at beginners and I kept it simple. Links in the description. Now on with the juice. In this video, I'll break down the new laws targeting stablecoins, who stands to win, who stands to lose, and how the entire landscape for digital money is about to change forever. Let's get into it. Trump's new administration in 2025 has changed everything in crypto. First, the Department of Justice issued a memo effectively ending the Biden administration's basic strategy of crypto regulation by prosecution. The SEC lawsuits have largely stopped, and the White House now has pivoted to one of actively promoting US leadership in digital assets, harnessing crypto as a strategic national asset. This brings us to Crypto Week, as the government's called it. The legislative battle is escalating on two fronts in Congress. In the House of Representatives, they're set to vote on two foundational bills that will define the future of the crypto market in America. Meanwhile, in the Senate, the fight over who controls the digital dollar is reaching its climax. The first bill in the House is the Clarity Act, which aims to finally resolve the turf war between the SEC and the CFTC over who regulates crypto. It would assign oversight of digital asset securities to the SEC and digital commodities to the CFTC, while also codifying rules for secondary market trading and establishing regimes for crypto broker-dealers and custodians. In other words, who gets to set the rules on different types of cryptos moving forward? There's a lot of power at stake. That's why they've been haggling for years. There's also the crucial Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. This bill prohibits the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency directly to individuals. Very important for your freedom. But the third significant legislative battle is over the Genius Act, which sets the rules for stablecoins. Now, this bill has already passed the House, and the fight for its future is now in the Senate. This isn't just boring regulation. It's about who gets to issue the digital dollar for the new economy. Who issues the money for your future? It couldn't be a bigger deal. The Genius Act creates a clear regulated path for US-based stablecoin issuers. This act has ignited a race among crypto-native firms and tech giants to embed themselves within the traditional banking system. An example is Circle, ticker CRCL, the company behind the stablecoin of the digital dollar called USDC. The value unlocked by its recent blockbuster IPO has made it one of the few ways to get direct exposure to a stablecoin issuer in the public markets. That stock IPO'd last month and shot up. It did like a 6 or 8x within 2 weeks. It's now still 200% up at the time of filming. The Genius Act mandates that payment stablecoin issuers must obtain a federal license or be a qualified issuer at the state level. This is key because it opens the floodgates for non-bank players to issue their own regulated stablecoin. Imagine a world where Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Amazon, or even Walmart could apply to issue their own regulated stablecoins, creating a massive new competitive landscape of US digital dollars. Can you imagine how the big banks are feeling right now? Well, don't feel too sorry for them. The bill doesn't allow yield-generating activities like staking on these regulated stablecoins, which means interest on US dollar-backed stablecoins won't be passed on to consumers. So this means banks get the upper hand again, really, and allows them to launch their own stablecoins, and they aren't forced to compete on interest rates with current crypto DeFi players that already give yield to their unregulated stablecoin market participants. As David Sachs, who is President Trump's special advisor for AI and crypto, said on the All In podcast, that part of the bill was a compromise to get the support of the banking industry. So, banking industry 1, consumer 0. Bloody typical. What do you think about this? Is this a necessary evil to get the banks on board, or just another case of the consumer getting left behind? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're out of the loop with existing stablecoins, you need to know the two biggest players are currently USDT or Tether and USDC from Circle. But USDT has a much larger share of the market currently. Now, this Genius Act puts the pressure on Tether or USDT because Tether is an offshore, non-US foreign entity. And the Genius Act, once passed, puts a 3-year clock on it for Tether to become fully compliant or exit the US market. This is where the battle goes global. You see, the vast majority of USDT is used on the Tron network, the financial backbone for millions of people in emerging markets. This forces a showdown. The explicitly US regulated corporate dollar like Circle's USDC versus the most dominant global but offshore dollar, that is USDT. When all's said and done, USDT still actually relies on the US banking system allowing its existence, despite it being offshore. So it is still vulnerable to this US regulatory pressure. Tether's leadership has publicly stated they are evaluating the best path to compliance with these new US regulations, including the possibility of working with US-based partners or entities. Other major crypto players are moving to secure their stablecoin positions too. Ripple launched its own stablecoin, RLUSD, and partnered with BNY Mellon as its primary reserve custodian. Meanwhile, Peter Thiel and Palmer Luckey have created a new entrant, Erebor Bank, and are seeking a national charter with a stated mission of providing secure, regulated custody for digital assets to tech companies and venture capital funds. And Shopify has partnered with Coinbase, integrating the use of USDC on the Base network, which is a layer 2 on Ethereum, to allow its merchants to accept crypto for fast, low-cost settlements. So, the battle lines are drawn. The war for the digital dollar isn't just about regulation. It's a fight for control between US-based corporate dollars and the unregulated global alternatives. It's a battle between the old banking guard and new tech giants. And the outcome will define the money you use for years to come. But this fight for issuing the dollar is just the first battlefront. The war for the dollar is happening at the same time as another epic backdoor invasion. The next battle is for the trillions in traditional assets waiting to enter the crypto arena. In part 2 of this series, I expose how Wall Street is launching a backdoor invasion of crypto and how it could make or break the future of your altcoins. Check it out next. You don't want to miss this. Click the link on the screen or in the description below. If this breakdown gave you more clarity than a month of watching CNBC, please hit the like button, share this video with a friend who needs to see what's really going on, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next 2 parts of this series. Thanks for watching. See you soon.